Down, 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 down. Cho, 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 amico, filmo. Good morning. Good morning, Lagos. Good morning, Nigeria. Welcome to the Vintage Talkshow with the Fudge and friends. Wherever you are listening to us, welcome and thank you for keeping faith with us. Today, the 10th day of May 2025. How time flies. Reaching you from Top Radio 90.9 FM. My name is Femi Akintunde-Johnson. My friends call me Fudge. And I have friends in the house. We get to meet them by the by. But let me first introduce my big friend and brother, my co-anchor in this show, Tokunbo Ojekunle. Good morning, Mr. T.
Good morning, Fudge. Good morning, everybody, wherever you are. Well, it's going to be good today, as usual. We're not starting off on where we stopped last week because so many new things have happened. So we are going to unleash the story part to you. Welcome to the Vintage Show.
Yes. Well, that's the nature of Nigeria. Every day, every hour, there's something new to talk about. Something new. Sometimes annoying, sometimes exhilarating, invigorating, aspirational. But more often than not, well, we keep on moving, we keep on standing strong. Yeah. I have the pleasure with me to have this morning my dark and lovely lady. She's here in the house. Good morning, Osifowora Ogundadegbe. Good morning.
Good morning to everybody. Welcome to another lovely show. Good morning to our co-presenters, Omolara, Mr. Fudge, Mr. T. You're all very welcome.
You trust Osifowora. Sometimes you do go beyond her brief, and she will help you to do other people. Okay, thank you. I'll just second you. It's nice to have her back after 2 or 3 weeks of absence. For, as they say in the olden days, circumstances beyond our control. She's joined us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle Fudge. Good morning, the Vintage Talk Show family. Welcome to another interesting edition of the show. And good morning, my co-anchors.
Well, there you have the canary voice of Molara Famuyiwa titillating us with the welcome message. Okay, we'll move on. What do we have this week? As usual, Povey of entertainment news, headline reviews, and if we have the chance, a full fledged of Niger trends. But let's have this for starters before we start. This is Vector. It says, "What's that?" That's what you're going to ask this morning when it comes to the vintage talk show. What's that?
No, sir.
Good morning. Okay, was saying the other day that this thing I should not bring it down at all.
No, it's can increase it now. It's not increase it.
They say I should not reduce at all. So I'm saying if I'm talking at the background, it will not be too high. It will be high because my voice is
So
on the
if
same
you
level.
want to talk in background, you close it.
So I should not go down low.
Yeah. If you want make your background placement,
Mm.
so drop it here.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay, that's like
if you see like this, the
like that.
background, now so the background will be.
Okay. Okay. So I can move it but not put down.
Yes, not
Okay.
down. Maybe on that.
Under 50. Okay. Thank you. That's Vector for you. Asking what's that? Yeah, this morning we'll give you our usual. But we always state we continue to speak truth to power and shine light on dark spots on this program. That will be our remit. Right? Let me give you the quote for the week. And before we kick on to some kind of fact checking, right? It says, an egg cannot fight a stone. An egg cannot fight a stone. The idea is know your limits. Don't tango with go and tango with someone your size. Don't don't pull your weights when 100 kg people are fighting you 25 kg. You say yeah, you're strengthened by Isomina will. One no, master. So
Oh,
know your weight, know your size, know your limit. An egg cannot fight a stone. It's not dull. 1 million of eggs can fight one small stone. Okay, that's the wise one saying for you this morning. Okay, on fact checking, what you call knowledge booster. You might have heard or read somewhere. They say, do you know that a cockroach can survive for about a week without his head before dying of starvation? You got that, yeah? A cockroach can survive for about a week without its head before dying of starvation. Stunning as it is, the fact checker says it is true. Cockroaches don't need their heads
to live.
don't try it. Don't try it. Even animals say cockroaches don't need their heads to breathe because they have an open circulatory system and breathe through spiracles on their bodies. However, without a mouth, they cannot drink water. So they eventually
Yeah,
die of dehydration after about a week or two.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. Imagine human beings that you can survive without heads. You just be singing. So I'm thinking,
It's
brainless
not
people.
possible. Or imagine that the head is removable. We can put it off
I
when
think
we do use it, and put it back when we need it.
oh God, people have problems saying, I don't like this guy. Say, well, do you see?
Yeah, exactly. And then you can swap heads, by the way, you can swap heads.
Oh, that's it. Don't give me a headache early in the morning. Oh my, oh my. That's interesting. Interesting fact. They can live. When you kill those things, they take long to die. You just squat
Yeah,
there and then you go, then you come back. The thing is still moving.
it's still moving. It's still moving. Very stubborn
Wow,
to
wow.
death. Stubborn to
Very
death.
resilient. It must have been a former Nigerian. Very resilient. Okay, let's move on to entertainment news. And we shift. We leave the space for Omolara Famuyiwa.
Yeah, on entertainment news this morning, we have Wizkid breaks silence on tour cancellation rumors. Nigerian
Mm.
music star Wizkid has responded to rumors that the cancelled part of his US and Canada Moriah tour due to poor ticket sales. In a cryptic move, he posted the dates and venues of his shows online, but fans noticed that 4 locations were missing from the original 11. With no official statement yet, speculations continue to fly, especially across social media, where is now trending. Is it a poor sales or a planned change? We are yet to confirm.
Hmm.
Mhm. Well, they're smart though. What you've just done now is all a free advert for them. So what they're planning to have awareness everywhere,
Exactly,
and it's okay.
exactly.
It's okay.
Well,
Smart.
journalists are uh, a type of people that they are very cynical and bad for business. You know, they take a story, they look for the one that will pay you the most. You know, already there's suggestion that the thing was going to flop. They did this and that. Maybe the man is a little bit ill or under the weather. He wants to postpone something. Maybe they will not check. They come say, what the cancel meji, man, what any problem? Where did okay,
Kolobo, Kolobo venues.
yeah, yeah, the problem is what the fear. They will just give him all kinds of only
Well, that's thinking deep though.
the kind of punishment some of these drivers. Let's hear yours.
Fuji Royal Rumble. Kollington fires shots at K1. Veteran Fuji icon Ayinla Kollington isn't holding back. He's declared himself the undisputed king of Fuji music and insists he has no rival. Speaking on Agbaletu TV, Kollington feels shade at Wasiu Ayinde, aka K1 the Ultimate, accusing him of ignoring multiple calls, especially during his mother's burial. He said K1 might be a prince in Ijebuland, but he can't lord over Fuji music. Let him try to be God now, Kollington joked. I will only go when God says so.
As if you know why I laughed.
No.
Yeah, it's only TV.
That program, what's it called? The name of that program that Colin spoke
Only
on.
TV.
Let me hear. I want to hear the name again.
Agbaletu TV.
Agbaletu. I like to hear the Gen Zs and the millennials when they speak Yoruba, when they read Yoruba.
Like,
Okay.
different, and these names just come. They don't think about this name, so they just give those
Yes,
names. Maybe they
yes, uh,
maybe they've been searching for names. They just say, yeah,
yes,
we need something.
Agbaletu.
But that's the idea, it to attract you, give you some deeper sense to think through. What were they thinking about to get that title.
Mm.
But hey, I thought this Collington and Kenny whatever was left to our age. This is another age. Are they still at it? Rivalry stuff.
I mean, I think they should outgrow it.
Yeah.
K1 is getting embroiled in a number of controversies, needless controversies. It's about Fuji supremacy, about the thief with the Islamic clerics, issue of
Clearly.
politics, all sorts of, you should just calm down. Calm down. We don't need all this. That's political stress. Then we now have musical stress and all that. We don't need all that. And
The economic stress they even too.
yeah, that one is even supersonic. There are all kinds of stresses all over the place. Then your fans will start abusing each other. Then I don't know. They should outgrow all those shenanigans of old.
You should leave it behind. You should leave it behind. Yeah.
Leave it. Okay, Jared, let's move on. Omolara, do you have any other story?
Yes, please. Lil Kesh, I may have ADHD, but I don't claim it. That's Lil Kesh. Rapper Lil Kesh got candid in a recent podcast, opening up about mental health and revealing he believes he has ADHD. Though he hasn't been officially diagnosed, he said his self-awareness stemmed from childhood behaviors and also touched on struggles with anxiety from fame and life's pressure.
Yeah, there are some problems
Wow.
there. There are some problems that they are meant for special people. People have
Mhm.
general people have headache. Some people call it migraine. People have flush problems. But so I tried to find out what exactly is ADHD because
So
Malala
what?
did not explain. So I got an explainer. It said ADHD is an attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, a brain-based condition that affects focus, impulse control, and restlessness. It's more
Okay.
common than you think, and many adults go undiagnosed for years. Undiagnosed for years. I beg your pardon. Have you ever struggled with the focus or felt constantly restless? Do you think ADHD is taken seriously enough in Nigeria? So we are saying, let's hear from you out there. Do you suffer from this? And they will say, it's youthful exuberance. No. The ADHD. Let's hear from you. Send us a message or call us on the number usually before we end the segment. 0913 697 3485. Do you have ADHD?
Sorry,
How have you been with
sorry,
it
Fudge.
in Nigeria? Yeah,
Is it
go ahead.
that one with the symptom of being overactive, hyperactive,
Yes, hypersensitivity. It's different from
hypersensitivity?
compulsive. Yeah, yes, it's different from
Yeah.
the one that you need to keep everything clean and all that stuff, sensitivity to environment and all that. But this is about your own restlessness and loss of focus and all that. I understand it's a brain-based condition. You have impulse control. It becomes a problem. You react funny as if you're autistic and all that. You know, and
Okay, because I see a lot of kids. Some kids have it, and usually some men or some people end up by saying, you've been giving this kids large quantum of sugar, so reduce the sugar content and all that. Probably that's something
yes,
in them. I don't know.
yes. Sometimes we misdiagnose and we just recommend, Dr. Abel kind of thing. You recommend the medicine.
Yeah.
That somebody has a running tummy. Say, just take a pajabu, or you take a lime and they just recommend something
That's true.
that was maybe it's all serving, and then they'll scatter the whole place up by self medication. Let's check. You just just see the doctor. You see the doctor. Don't self-medicate and put yourself in trouble. Okay, is it fair?
It's like he came back. The video on late son's look-alike twin. The video has described his newborn twin son as the spitting image of his late son, Ifeanyi.
Hmm.
In a chat with Ibro Darden on Apple Music One, he admitted the resemblance is so uncanny. It's scary. Recall Ifeanyi tragically passed in 2022,
Yeah,
and just a year later, Davido and Chioma welcomed twins in the US, a boy and a girl.
yeah. It's nice when you have like a reincarnation. A loved one is back.
Yeah, yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's good. Congratulations. What is nice uh, to
Mm-hmm.
to bounce back as quickly as that. It's nice, and
Yeah.
I'm happy for the woman too. And they seem to be together. We haven't heard much. Journalists will have brought out something. They split. They did. They slap. They did this. They did that. You know,
They are strong couples.
they are strong
Very
couple.
strong.
Yeah,
Very strong.
yeah.
Very
As you
strong.
know. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Yes, next one. Amalara is taking her leave. She's watching brief now.
Skills. From
Okay.
stage to self, singer shares jail experience. Skills, real name, Rao John Njeng,
Hmm?
has revealed he spent a night in a Nigerian police cell
Mm,
after standing by his manager during a dispute with a billionaire. Speaking to the Coco media, the singer said even inside the cell, inmates recognized him and requested live performances of Shake Body and Emergency. In exchange, they gave him a mat to sleep on, where comfort is that overcrowded space. Skills detention, alongside his then manager, Osage Osarenkwe, occurred in June 2016 at the Zone 2 Police Command in Ikon, Lagos.
well, that's live for you.
Yes, sir.
When you that's live when you want to stand on what you think is the righteous cause or doing the right thing. You
Mm-hmm.
suffer things like detention, harassment, punishment, and all that. But if you follow your conscience, you bear the brunt. So that's
Mm-hmm.
skills expressed there. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Spending few hours or few days in detention, believing and trusting his man that they were not wrong. It happened to the best of us anywhere
Yeah.
in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, at least he ended well. He's still alive to tell the stories.
Yes, sir.
Some don't. Hmm. Okay, let's go to the AY story.
AY Makun breaks silence on EFCC summons. Comedian AY Makun has confirmed being invited by the EFCC over spraying money at a public event. Posting on Instagram, AY said he was questioned for spraying both naira and dollars, now classified as an abuse of currency. He
Hmm.
urged fans to give money responsibly and show more respect for both local and foreign currencies.
It's this our Owambe spraying culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's giving some people headache. I was watching a video of one other actress. They used to call her a Nyoka. She doesn't she's not that frequent on the screen anymore. And the cameraman was making good effort to hide the spraying. Apparently, it was
Mm-hmm.
dropping into a box. So I think they have come to a realization that they don't need to spray on the head or spray it on the floor. That they walk over it. That the authorities think that is is it dehumanizing in quote. Maiming the naira and other currencies. You watch some videos and. From your video, from your home or your phone,
Yeah.
and maybe you have not eaten in the morning, and maybe all you have in your account is maybe like 5,000, 10,000, and you watch people stepping on hundreds of millions of naira in currency, making a mishmash of it. And you watch and you look at yourself and wonder why are you in this side of of this world? Why are you not there? How did these people do this? So, it sets so it triggers all kinds of emotions. Not sometimes not reputable. So we should exercise restraint if you have it, they say flaunt it. But flaunt it responsibly. You don't need to show off that you have. I mean, you're a billionaire, a millionaire. You have money, so you don't have to show that you have money. It's like a king who shoots at a subject because he has power. Of course, we know you're a king. You have power. You don't need to show off or show it. You know. So that's warning the FCC has been giving some of
Yeah.
our stars. And I like the style now. They did one. I think there's another story about Yabo Ojo.
Yes,
We
yes.
get to that shortly. And they don't have to uh, prosecute them. They just bring some in to warn them, instead of doing the circus of media trial they do and all that stuff. Warn them, make them, there's some kind of ambassadorial mouthpiece, so to speak,
That's
in court,
great.
so that they
That's
can
great,
tell others
Fudge.
stop it,
Mm.
and all that.
Mm.
It will go around.
Exactly.
That's
So
what I
look at
like about this story. That's what I like
yeah,
about that story. He got in and he came out, and rather than going to fight them and say, they took me there, blah, 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 he said, no, we started advising people to, stop doing it. I
yeah,
think that's a reverb and it's working. Because I
yeah,
ask myself, why do you spray money? What for? Okay, if you want to spray money, cut newspapers, cut to money size, and then you can spray that one. If it's your custom or culture to do that, why must it be money? I mean, no,
If you
that's not looking
must
good.
spray, if you must spray dummies, spray proxy
Spray
money.
dummies, yeah.
Is that you? You not give me this money. Okay, let's finish with the last story. Okay, so I'll wrap it up. I think it's on the same level. The Yabojo story.
Yabo Ojo speaks out after EFCC visit. Actress Yabo Ojo has also had a run-in with the EFCC, confirming she honored their invitation on 5th of May after returning from the UK. She was grilled over money spraying at her daughter Prissy's wedding. The EFCC showed her event videos and reminded her that spraying both naira and foreign currencies is illegal, not just distillation. She was cautioned and let go.
Yeah, so we're on the same line of what I'm saying. You caution them and then tell
Yeah.
them to speak the gospel. And mutilation is not only naira that they are angry about. It's every for currency. We
That
are
is it.
we are part of the international committee of nations. So you should respect every currency and don't just fling them around. If you see some people give you change, naira change, where they will bring it out from, you first be scared to collect the money. Then the shape
Yeah.
they will crumble the money into. Then when you start unfolding the money, you'll be surprised that the money can still survive. The kind of outrage, the kind of nationalization, people. Well, we love them. We love them. Let's just have regard for our currency. Let's take a short break. We come back and take on newspaper reviews or headline reviews. I will take a short break. I'll be back with you. False says regards to your momsy, featuring Ajebota and Fresh L. Omolara, I kept on muting your microphone. There are some statics, not
Yes,
from
I get.
aha. So if you continue, when I'm not talking, just mute it. When you want to talk, just open it up.
What kind of music is this? How did they
Can you
dance to
hear?
this one? And I can hear. Kilo ṣe ń jó sílẹ̀, you know.
Oh God! It's mom though. You got to your mom see.
We got to your mom see.
It's almost child abuse.
Almost, yeah.
Interesting. We are still here, and I trust that you are still there, listening to us on Top Radio 90.9 FM. This is the Vintage Talkshow, and this is the headline reviews. Top newspaper cover stories. Let's start with Saturday Times. Mr. T is still here, Omolara is here, Isife is here, and others may join us shortly. If you have anything to share with us, the number is 0913 697 3485. I repeat, the number is 0913 697 3485. Saturday Times, I beg your pardon, starts with IED explodes near mosque, injures 4 in Borno. IED is what's that thing called? I've forgotten the acronym now. I mean, it's something like an explosive that is made homemade kind of a thing.
Okay, yeah, okay.
You know, that is,
It's your come, Fudge. Let's move on. It's your come.
yeah.
I know it too, but I can't just speak it now.
It just disappeared. And this is Borno. This is like a resurgence now. This is like a return to the devastation of the past. Uh, we don't need all this now. We don't need all
It's
this.
just not sitting well with me. Why do you would you go through that effort to kill some? I don't understand it, and it's getting worse by the day. As somebody said the other day, it's to be expected because there's been a lot of mesh in the among the population, the community particularly. So everybody is like fighting for self-survival, and anything you have, you hold. And these guys are working in pockets. They're working in beats, and I don't know how we can solve that. It's like a canker worm, and it's spreading. It is spreading. And you mentioned something earlier, Fad. It's like the old times are back again. And you remember it was very bad then. The guy sitting next to you, you don't even know if he is armed with explosives. And he will detonate because he knows he's going to die as well.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I improvised explosive device. Yes, I
He
remember.
provides explosive device.
It's we don't need all this. All this suicide bombing and all these
No,
things.
why?
How is any country ever going to progress with this kind of scenario popping up now and again? We don't need it. I hope. I hope. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. The problem is you got to find out the roots of all this. What is provoking this? It can't all just be economic problems. It cannot just
No,
be economic issue. There's something happening.
definitely no.
You know,
Definitely
uh,
not.
it's very sad. Well, before I move on, I'd like to welcome our commentator and analyst joining us this morning. Ade Adeboye. Sorry, Akindamola Adeboye. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good
Okay.
morning, Uncle Fudge. Good morning, Uncle Fudge.
Good
Good morning,
morning.
Mr.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
Grant.
morning.
You're
Yeah,
welcome.
Welcome.
thank
We are
you.
just
Thank you.
discussing. I'm sure you're listening to us at the back end while we're talking. This explosive, improvised explosive device just blew up in Borno in a mosque on a Friday,
Mhm.
a holy day for the Muslims. It's so sad. You know,
Yeah.
thank God there's no casualty, but there are about 4 people injured. And I said, this is resurging. We are going back to all these
Going back,
restless and all that. We don't need it. And
it's not right.
Yeah,
You
it's a
know,
sad one, Fudge. Well, for me, it's all politics. It's all politics, and someone just said, was it yesterday or that was on Thursday or Friday that even the whole killing in Benue is not well managed because people are still playing politics with our lives. So
mm,
that's a House of Rep member, I believe, and he was saying it pointedly that the governor was playing bad politics, and that is why the killing um, is still going on. Even the one in Borno, because of course we are made to understand that some powers that be are not really happy with this government, so they said, okay,
mm,
rather than allow the government to do things, okay, let's see how you will do anything here. These are tough if we keep on sponsoring this kind of stuff, and it's a sad one actually, and
yeah, it is.
it really
It is. I'm happy to introduce our next guest on the show. He's a guest today because I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say coming out of two big, two wicked losses during the week. Um, 4 English teams started the week trying to get into European finals. Only one dropped miserably, and they are still boasting. And then they are also they are, they are, they, are, they, they face some shellacking over the earlier in the week by some other small club like that. You know, but it's nice to have this morning smiling and happy, contrary to the circumstance and situation. Uh, our legal experts and social development advocates, Bosun Osifowora. Good morning, Bosun.
Yeah, that silence speaks louder than any other comment.
No, I
When
think
someone
it's a
has actually,
technical.
it's not a technical issue.
Good
Someone
It's
has
not.
actually,
morning,
someone prepared the
good
script so
morning,
that
everybody. It's all good.
Please allow him to breathe. Allow him to breathe. Good morning, Bosun. I don't
If you say,
okay. When he gathers his when he
Bosun is on
gathers his
strike. He's on
when he
strike.
gathers when he
He's on
gathers his
strike.
morning, he will get back to us. He will open up to us. Let's move on to Saturday Independence. Oh my. It leads with the story, exposed story of slave camp called Ondo School for the Blind.
Mm.
A story of slave camp, Ondo School for the Blind. The school can be compared to a prison yard, said ex-students. Uh, let's welcome back Bosun. Good morning, Bosun. We understand you have technical issues on your end, or is it football issues? We don't know. Good morning, nevertheless.
good morning, sir. Good morning, listeners. It's a pleasure to be here, regardless of Okufad's remark.
Well, we thank God. Our people say when there is life, there is hope. Is it when there is hope, there is life? You know, you're welcome. Uh, and hopefully, you may smile tomorrow or cry more. Anyway, let's be serious. Let's go on to serious issues. I've been waiting for this day to welcome Bosun, but well, it's all good. It's all good. So, there's another story that leads with the lessons from KS's disappearance in quotes and appearance story. There's this cynical critic that said these all our icons will not go easy. They will not retire easily. You know, 1 week he was pronounced dead, and he came back to say no, he's alive. A week or two after, KSA also supposedly disappeared and then reappeared. You know, you know, things are things are happening. There are reawakening and renaissance musically. And Yoruba people call it what they call that thing, Ajidewe. You have Ajidewe impact with these stories and all that. But this is not to say we don't trust our elders or we don't trust our icons. But it's all good. It's all good. We are learning from them. You know, I think it's much better than all the K1 and Collington, Oshupa fiasco and all that. You know, uh, apart from mischief, I don't know what lessons people want to learn from disappearance and appearance. You know. Anyway, anyway, let's move on. The Guardian leads with, I beg your pardon. Despite penalty clause, public officers defies asset declaration law. Despite penalty clause, public officers, when you have officers that are stronger than your judiciary, did you read the story the other week? How much they saw in the account of one of the MDs of the refineries? About 80 million. I don't know whether it's naira or dollars. I can't remember now. Is it billion naira or something? Incredible amount. In an MD of a refinery that is not working, you know. It's not working.
The band is not working.
Actually, Uncle Fad, working in one context, the refinery is still guzzling money, making money, as you are made to understand. Things are still being paid for.
They're
Plenty
making
things are
money.
still being paid for. Yeah, they're making money.
I see
I
they are
mean,
making.
just
They are
recently,
selling petrol.
no, they are making internal money now. They are sharing. They are still sharing money there. Now.
Okay.
There's a budget.
Uh,
Uncle
They are
Fad,
still making money up. Wow.
there's a budget for them, and they have allocations, despite
allocations
the refinery is not working.
not working, so they have to
They
spend the
have
money.
turnaround maintenance, and these things keep coming every year. So definitely, you will find a lot of money in their pockets. You're heading a moribund refinery, and you are getting allocations every year for the same thing. In fact, I saw a write-up. Somebody was complaining earlier in the week that in the budget that they present for the presidency, that they are always buying same things every year. Is it that they spoil the things? There'll still be budget for gas, budget for cooker, budget for spoon. Like, do they throw away the spoons after eating? Abi, what exactly is the thing that you buy the same thing every year? That do they do that in their homes?
But it's quite unfortunate because even everybody is complicit in this. I mean, people have not been working for the past 10 years. I mean, as they've not been going to work. Even if they go to work, they have nothing to do. They've been paid. People like staffs in Wadi Refinery, and they just a little, just for a little while, they made some things work, and all of a sudden we ahead they're on strike, and they're because
technically, those places they're working. Abina,
yeah,
they are working technically.
Mm-hmm. That's what they're telling
because
us.
The budget keeps going in and out, and it worries me. It worries me because the signs have always been there. Come on now, this is 2025. Do you know that? Let me tell you something, guys. This system has been in place since the 60s and 70s. But so listen, let me explain it to you. The way we repeat budgets, we repeat buying things into our coffers. Whenever people are leaving the office, maybe pensioners are leaving, maybe they go with some of those items.
Oh,
because there is no accountability. Everybody wants they go there to take what is government cake. I want to take mine and go. Yeah. How many times have you heard that official vehicles were returned to the coffers?
Mm-hmm.
Check it. Ask questions. Some left with those vehicles until today, nothing to show. But in the paper, I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that some of these papers, some of these cars still take money for maintenance, buying petrol and coal, and the cars are no longer there. So it's a tough job. They have to start from the scratch. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they really have to start from the scratch. Everybody,
sorry, quickly, if I may say this to what Uncle Fad raised, I don't know what they're doing in some schools. But I think the psychiatric and the psychology department need to come and study the mentality behind stealing in Nigeria. People literally steal what generations after them cannot finish spending. It is not normal. It is insanity.
True.
Why do I take what I cannot use in 2 lifetimes? Even if I don't know what kind of lifestyle one will live that will make you spend $80 million. Maybe the money I'm looking for is not plenty, but I don't know. Because the way people steal,
you're in order. You're in order. What about those who build estates and houses? They own them. They are not leasing them out. They are not mortgaging.
Stash money.
They are building. Yeah, they build and own. So I wonder when they want to pass on and they write their will. Okay, now their children maybe just about 5 or 4 in number. You're laughing. They're going to own all these palatial structures everywhere. I mean, Bosu is right. It's gotten to the edge of, I think, let's question their, something has to be done in that area. Serious study. Serious study. I read some people they stole billions of money in gas and petrol and oil and gas sector, and then they went to buy houses abroad. They bought houses in such a way that they were not small dollars or big dollars. Of course, if I wanted to make money, they will sell to you. Now, I'm asking questions. Those houses that they bought everywhere, not leased out, no occupants in them, they are just there.
Doesn't make sense.
They're just there. It's not making sense. Also, when you travel now, you go on top of those places. You are happy it belongs to you, and Bosu is just right. I think it's a mental issue.
For me, it's something that has developed over time because there is no repercussion. Like I keep on saying it, if they allow it in other climes, it would have been more terrible now. But here, we allow it, and you say, what will happen? Nothing will happen. Just like, we are talking about a refinery that is not working simply because some people are not punished that they are not doing their work. And you will be amazed at the level of impunity. I mean, people will literally tell you they will kill you and nothing will happen. And truly, nothing will happen. We have seen people assault people on video. At the end of the day, we never heard anything about the case again. That culture of impunity here is driving us. Most often time, that is what drives us. I mean, I was talking to someone. I said, we are talking about the fundamental this thing. That is okay. We're talking about the police force, and we are talking about if the law enforcement agents, if they have no repercussion if they do something wrong, then what do you expect every other person in society to do? Because just like you said about spoon being taken away, you'll be surprised. Most often time, it is the culture that once a DPO is posted to a division, he comes, he tells everyone around that it doesn't have anything in his office. Within the twinkling of an eye, that office is equipped with everything in
everything that was there before.
No, it was not there before. No, I'm coming.
They're supposed to be there.
They're supposed to be there.
But no, really, nothing was there. It came, nothing was there. Now, he's equipped with everything. The chairs, the tables. It gets it in multiples. Everybody brings their own. It gets it in multiples. Everybody in society, organizations, they bring their own. It gets it in multiples. Now, what happens is this. 6 months later, he's posted out to another division. Do you know what happens, Mr. T? Everything that was bought, he takes them along with him.
Exactly. It becomes his personal things, including the what do you call these things? The drapes, the curtains. Everything is gone.
Now, when he takes everything, to the next place he wants to go and resume. What he does is he takes them his place, his house, wherever it is. He takes them, packages them to his house. Now, when he gets to the new place, he gets there and he tells everybody, I have nothing in my office. So everybody, it's just like
poverty mentality.
And someone was actually telling us in our area that the TV we bought for her was is it a TV that is 55 inches that someone has already bought the 75 inches. She will take it to her children's room. That's what she was saying. That she will take it to her children. She was saying it. Like, as in to
Wow.
us, she's taking the one we bought to our children's school.
Impunity. The
I
brazenness.
mean,
Wow.
impunity.
Yes.
And
Brazen,
who do you report
yes.
to? Who do you report to? The next person you want to report to maybe is the area commander. The area commander is doing the same thing. Everybody
Well,
does it.
thank you, gentlemen. Are you listening to us out there? We are discussing your country and your people, our kings and kinsmen. Yeah, the
Yeah.
number to call, remember, is still 0913 697 3485. Number again, 0913 697 3485. Let's move on, gentlemen. There's one more story that I want us to chew on. It's on the front page of Vanguard. It's not a major headline, somewhere in the corner there, but it's very Saturday-ish. It says, "How doctor stole one of my twins during birth." Abuja housewife narrates. Then some writers say, identifies alleged stolen child during immunization. Accused doctor opposes request for DNA test. Enjoys police cover.
Wow.
But
No,
so
in
are you
fact, that's
there?
a fairy story. Is it a real story?
Is it what? It's real. It's
Is it
real.
fiction?
Is it fiction? Thank you.
It's real. The woman has two, and the doctor said, two are looking for children. You just have two. Maybe she's not. The doctor feels that will not be able to take care of the children, and relieve her of one. So that
What? Just like that?
God.
Because this looks like one of Funke Akintune's story
Yeah.
or one of her movies.
It's
Actually,
true.
it looks like a movie. Yeah, a movie script or something.
There's a script. There's actually one of Funke Akintune's movies. I can't remember, but I know I've seen something like this where they just took out one baby. So one grew up in opulence and then one grew up in the ghetto. I think I can't remember the title.
Yeah. Also, you're right. You're right. There's a movie like that. There's a movie like that.
That's a
Uh-huh. Okay.
Yeah, there's a movie like that. Yeah. But it's actually happening every day. It's happening every day.
Hey.
Every day. And
These are
most of the time,
stories that alone.
but it will happen because how many hospitals are real hospitals? Have you ever asked yourself that? Maybe, yeah. How many are real hospitals? I mean, personnel by real doctors and nurses. How many? You'll be shockingly surprised at how many fake doctors we have, how many fake nurses we have. Because when we were growing up, what we understood by if you tell me you are a nurse, is that you went to a nursing school of nursing, a recognized one, and you become a registered nurse. Now, nursing and doctoring has become something to be apprenticed.
Yeah, auxiliary nurse.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
Do you know the swap? What about baby swaps? The swap babies. Do you know the swap baby? And the problem about that is this: years to come, when there's a tip over, this is not my son, and they go to DNA
issues,
and it will not sync.
Hey.
Yeah. Now that idea of taking some people for psychiatric test, what's that you said? It's for everybody.
But sorry, sir. Let me ask: what should be the consequence for somebody
for
like
this
that?
kind of thing?
It shouldn't just be jailed. It should attract death penalty. Do you know what it means?
Yeah.
But so there is no consequence. Nothing.
There should be.
But we can't continue like this, Aki.
That's what Bosun is saying. There should be.
Yesterday, I was talking with the Commissioner for Environment in Lagos, and I was like, this thing, you keep doing the same thing every time. That I said, what people keep building on this, setbacks and drainages and everything. I said, what is the reason that? And you will come, you will destroy the place, they will go back and do it again. He said the reason is simple, that there has been no consequences. And that's why people are brazen.
Mm.
That until we drive it into people, because for a doctor who, this is not even swap now. Swap is as bad as it can get. But now you have taken one and given it to another person. And there's a writer there that says, there's a part of the story that says he's enjoying police protection. Then it's all over.
Yeah.
It's all over. That's the end.
And it's rejecting the request of DNA.
God help the people if they don't have money. That's the end of the story.
Yeah, that's the end of the story.
Also, it is the highest bidder. See, go to your area command. Go to your area command. Sit down and listen into the stories that comes in. Sit down and
one more story on Vanguard, and we call it a day. I don't know how journalists frame this kind of stories. I don't know how they know it. It says native doctors, kidnappers, scammers flee to Asaba. So those crack down in Asaba, hurting them. Is it that they took sensors of this? I don't know. The scammers, kidnappers, native doctors have fled Anambra on their way to Asaba. Oh my.
You know the funny thing about the journalists now, they have opportunities to learn the tricks free. You know, people are standing up to say, come, we'll teach you free, yeah? How to write better, how to do things better. They still won't come. And then they will go back. There should be consequences for all these people as well. I mean, not only people there should be consequences. When you write a story, and what is that? What kind of statistics? What kind of
Hello.
Mr. T, they will come for you.
They will come for me.
What am I speaking?
They have followers online. They will come for you.
There's a caller.
No, but okay. There's somebody online.
Yeah.
Okay, we can pick it.
You that they travel to abroad every now and then. They see what is happening there. And they fall into the existence of what is going on there. But when they go back to Nigeria here, they turn another thing entirely. So where there's no fear of God, this is what it is. Unto all of us, we come to believe in God. There's no solution to it. It's not of the enemy. Especially the devil. They want to capture Nigeria. It's not in total body, all these things. It's the plan of the wicked to capture Nigeria. It's not possible. God bless you.
Thank you. That's our caller from Ikorodu. Using the perspective of the Christian faith. There is an attack on Nigeria spiritually to castrate the country and frustrate the work of God, and that it will not happen. And let's continue to pray and let's continue to do the right thing. Some of these scammers, kidnappers, and dubious people, they are Christians. Some of them are even Bible quoting and talking. Oh God! Because some people will go to church and go and give them. Look at that chap. What's his name now? What's it called? That no. The dragon, the kidnapper, the
Evans.
Evans. Yes, it's reputed to be a big donor in churches, and it was a big time kidnapper. Only God knows who's following him.
Have you forgotten Emefiele and his big Bible?
And it's all
that Bible must be Dix. It must be reference. All those study Bibles. It's not just an ordinary one.
And he was carrying it so
religiously.
That was scary. That was scary, very scary.
The problem is God is very patient, very, very patient. If it's one of these Yoruba gods Like Shango or Ogun and all that. Oh Lord, that would be good.
Uncle
That is why
Fat,
they will not.
this present generation will find a way around Ogu and Shango. Forget this generation. They have perfected some things. Even Ogun will go and sit down and watch. You have not seen. You have not seen anything. Ogun
No,
and
no.
Choko Mawuro.
But the gods would relocate. They probably will relocate to other places and leave us alone.
Take a short break. I haven't heard a whimper from Omolara. Is she still there? I'm not sure. Okay, we take a short break and come back to Niger Trends. Niger Trends, we have so many stories. I don't know how many we can take before we leave, and so many disturbing stories and problem stories and all that. But we take a short break. This appears apt. It says, where's my list now? It says Kilogbe. What did you carry? You know, we should ask many of our civil servants and politicians that. Kilogbe is by Sean Tisdale.
Well, see Nigeria with his by.
I'm telling you. I am telling you. It's getting worse.
That's my little colleague.
You know, there's nothing that there's actually.
What's up? How are you there?
How are you?
How are you? Good morning.
Aji Dada. This Yoruba thing, wow. But
how we can't continue like this? So you
think if they make you the head of a task force to bring all these people to justice, you think you'll be able to?
If they want to, if you threaten my life, I'll leave the thing for them. I cannot.
Oh, that's what I want to hear.
Don't you think, don't you guys think it's too late?
It's not too late.
Every day I think about it. It is too late. Capital LATE.
Mr. T. What I would advocate is not what will trend. And that is, we need a very, very wicked dictator. Very wicked one. Everybody will comply. I remember
maybe a benevolent dictator.
Benevolent dictator. A very wicked one. Benevolent, very wicked one. Anything you do, you are gone. Anything you do, you are gone. Everybody will comply.
Shebi, about 20 years ago, China had serious issues with opium.
Yeah.
Serious one, no, that 20-25 years ago, they were a mess. But today, it's a forgotten thing, no?
I mean, in China, when you see an actual senior government official being killed, as in top of the top, he's just taken out like that. So what happens to every other person? They will comply.
They will fall in line.
They will fall in line. They will sit tight. It's because, if they make you the head of the task force now, Bosun, now I know you from the show. They probably brought one of my cousins to you, blah, 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 blah. I will reach out to you, Bosun, and stuff like that one. And before you know anything, people in your village, you start calling you, that guy is something, and every other person will now. And the pressure will be too much now. And just like
when it comes to things like that, funny enough, I don't budge. If you are caught for something, okay.
Kilogbe. Something reminisce on Olamide. Kilogbe. That's what we should constantly ask our politicians, our citizens, for most Nigerians. Kilogbe. Show your particulars.
Eda Padao. Return what you are taking.
Just shameless. We are just shameless. No sense of proportion, no sense of consequence, no repercussion, no scruples. I just
There is 1 through 5, then 1 through 6, then there's another 1 through something again.
I'll use up to tell you the numbers I want.
Okay.
Sometimes you wonder why is this show, like every other show, is called talk show, because we have to talk, and Nigerians wonder why we are one of even with the low density in terms of connectivity, we are one of the biggest buyers of data, because we have to talk. We talk a lot. And now we have to talk this Niger trend. We are talking about 10 trending stories within the Nigerian space. And because these people always hurt us with all kinds of shenanigans and their discrepancies and malfeasance, and I can't remember other adjectives to describe us. So we need to talk. We need to talk and talk and talk. Perhaps God of talk will cause it to enter their brain, and they will recalibrate and change their ways, or at least mend their ways. You know, sometimes you wonder how Nigeria still stands as it is, and how it collapsed within.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
It never stops sipping, and don't let me start a new story. So let me take non-Niger trends. You know, is a presenter. The dark and lovely. Okay, that's a different one. So I have to look for this one. Beautiful, lovely, assertive, legal representative. How would I call it?
Very attractive.
Legal luminary.
Yes, I like that. I like that line. I like that word.
Oluwa Tamilore. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
And I've just introduced you. I've not asked you to start.
I'm sorry.
Because you are ready to.
I'm very sorry.
Okay. Once in a while, when she feels like she joins us to share this space with us, and we're glad to have you this morning. What do you have for us?
Can I speak now?
Yes, you can.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
The first story for you today. Young bride arrested for alleged murder in Kano. In Kano, police have arrested 18-year-old Saudat Jibril for allegedly killing her 30-year-old husband, Salisu Idris, by slitting his throat with a sharp knife. The tragic incident occurred at Farawa quarters. Police say the suspect is in custody and will be charged with culpable homicide. The State Commissioner of Police has reiterated a zero-tolerance stance on violence and urged the public to stay vigilant and report any suspicious activities.
I suspect forced marriage. I suspect, unwillingness to be a bride so soon. I suspect so.
Yeah, I am against violence, but I'm already on her side. I don't know what the full story is, but
I can't be on the side of a neck slicer.
Just like that. Tamilore, just like that.
You don't know the whole story yet.
immediately in my mind, I can see all the signs, and
Okay, it's a
I'm
mind. It's a mind
yeah,
thing.
it's not based on facts. It sounds like a forced marriage or some forced kind of situation that she doesn't want to be in.
That there are two words I will have used
Mm-hmm.
to describe what you just said now, but it was used against me last week, so I will not use it. Akindamola accused me blatantly of two professional sins in journalism. He said I was sentimental and I was biased, about because of the GTB story, and I
Okay.
think I can do it. You know, I just have to tell my own story, you know. So I want to tell Akidamola, I try not to be sentimental or to be biased, but I am human, so I can support this or that. Okay. So I said I should bring it up. I wanted to call you that you are
Okay,
sentimental
I
or
have to say my
biased.
response in case you think
Okay.
I'm
What would
sentimental and biased.
what
I'm
would
like, so what?
I so what?
So what?
Because you're not a professional journalist.
I'm not trying to be.
Let me go
Okay.
back to let me go back to Bosun's comment minutes ago. Everybody needs a psych check. Everybody. I mean,
Inside what?
you want to kill your
Psychiatric
husband. Wait
test.
now, and let me quickly drop this one. You want to kill your husband, and it's a sharp. The guy who even wrote that story must be a creative writer. He described the sharp, and then I just pictured it. I said, this must be a mad act.
Mr. T, I think there is a little bit of embellishment with the story. It tells us the girl is 18. Then
It's him.
comes up with the story of the
Your
sharp
man is
knife.
dead.
Just so that is why I maybe I buy a little bit of Tamilore's stance that she's already on her side, because we know in those parts they don't marry at 18. They marry at 14, 15, first marriage and stuff like that one. The girl keep on saying, I have someone I love, I'm dating, and they'll say, no, this is our culture, this is our tradition. And something has
Mm.
driven someone to the edge of the wall, or over the edge even, and this happened, and they have to write a story that will make sense to a lot of people. That's why they are telling us that she used a sharp knife. She was 18, and
Okay.
they
Can I
didn't tell
ask?
her.
Sorry.
Was he sleep?
Can I
Was he
ask?
sleeping was he sleeping when his throat was being slit? Was he sleeping?
We don't have the
Was
full
he?
story. It's
They don't
probably.
have they
Okay.
don't have that kind
Uncle
of.
Fudge.
I
Uncle
want to
Fudge, I'm
ask.
with you, sir.
I want to ask a question so that you can be part of what you want to say. This slitting of throats. I mean, we say it casually. It's like you are killing ram. And, it's not easy.
Mhm.
So what I'm thinking is there something like, can you rape your wife? Is there something like a legally marry something, and the lady said no, and you force her to copulate with her? Is there something like a legal sexual, marital rape? Is it
Okay.
is it is it is it allowable in law? Is it something
Okay.
actionable?
All right. First of all, under our jurisdiction, um, rape does not occur within marriage
Okay.
because by in Nigeria under the extant laws, there's no rape in our marriage. It is there's a whole lot of assumption that comes with marriage under our laws that once you are a couple and coital relations is a given, and it is not expected that one party will refuse the other one. In fact, under the Matrimonial Causes Act, if you look at section 15(2), subsection G, it says that you can actually bring an action against your spouse in court that your spouse is refusing you coital relations, and where that the court can now order that conjugal relations should be restored. Where that person now refuses that order of court, then
Yeah, go to-
it's a ground for divorce.
Was
okay.
okay.
So
Wow.
it's coital relations is a given under our law, and there's nothing like rape. In fact, it is the refuser of it under our laws that is actionable against the person refusing. So it's there's no rape. In other jurisdiction, they say things like when you force your partner and all that, So our laws are still very much inside our culture, because if you say you don't want your husband to go out and you are refusing him, or you say you don't want your wife and you are refusing something like that, it's a basis for adultery, culturally speaking. So that's our position. That's one. Now, quickly to the story. If you look at up north, child marriage and all those things is prevalent. And in the past 10, 15 years, there's been a trend which people are not really watching out for. I think maybe in their social gatherings, whatever it is, we have been hearing stories about all these young brides slashing the throats, killing their husbands, some poisoning them, the husbands who are much older. Now, the first thing is this: what does an 18-year-old know about marriage? Zero. Now, so over time, it's been the trend in the north. Now, but over time, I think this younger generation are coming to that awareness that, okay, if you force me to this thing, I will force my way out by killing this person. So there's a whole lot of stories, reported and unreported, of these young brides killing. So, and I think the earlier they start looking into this trend and coming up with measures to stop this thing, the better it will be for them, because before it becomes socially acceptable that once you're a young bride, they give you, just kill the person. And that's your way out of it. So they need to really stem it by addressing that thing, that stop giving these young people out. The generation coming now, they are not like our own, and they're not like the generation before us. So they don't agree with some things, and they are very intentional. So that's just my position.
When you say they, Bosun, who are you referring to? So that
this younger generation, no.
The younger generation.
No, they will stop it.
The leadership of the North. The leadership of the North should understand that this thing is no longer the order of the day. This child marriage thing.
Yes. They need to adjust it.
Very conservative.
Let's move on, please. We have so many stories and we are hectoring on one. It's a long way to go. You can join us outside there. You're listening to us. The number to call is 0913-697-3485. As far as I'm concerned, I can't justify slitting anyone's throats for whatever situation. I mean, you can run away, you can elope, you can do other things.
But for you to slit someone's throat, it must be your. I'm sure it was her last resort. Not sure, but I feel like it was her last resort.
That can't be her last resort. To pierce the throat. You want to kill a ram?
Can you kill chicken?
I cannot kill chicken.
So now look at chicken. Look at human being. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable.
That'll be your portion, though.
Honestly,
okay.
I don't think it's something I can imagine.
Please go on to that second story.
Wow. Let's move on from such controversial matters. Okay, Wigwe helicopter crash blamed on pilot error and company negligence. A U.S. safety board has concluded that the 2024 helicopter crash that killed former Access Holdings CEO Herbert Wigwe, his wife, son, as well as Abimbala Ogunbanjo, former group chairman of Nigerian Exchange Group PLC, and two others, was caused by the pilot flying into bad weather under visual rules, leading to disorientation and loss of control. The NTSB, that's the National Transportation Safety Board of the U.S., also blamed poor oversight of the operating company, which allowed the helicopter to fly despite a faulty radar altimeter and incomplete safety checks. The tragedy, which occurred near the Nevada-California border, has raised fresh concerns over aviation safety compliance.
Wow. I understand there's going to be lawsuits against the company. against the
Yeah.
helicopter company. I mean, the red flags are so many. How would they allow the flights? The red flags are so many, and then this is America. The supposed what they call them. Yeah,
I have my opinions on the reason this was America. It's no longer, like anyway, let's move. Actually, I'm
and
sorry. Let me restate. Let me just continue what I'm doing. Please go.
it,
So,
it's
officer,
very.
is it possible to imply murder?
I don't.
Yes,
I mean,
I'm thinking that way because it's looking deliberate to me. Okay, no, ordinarily that company would not have taken that chance of sending that aircraft in a bad weather, an aircraft that you are lacking lacks safety gadgets, safety checks, and they were the same guys who actually discovered those things. America discovered those things them by themselves. It's looking very deliberate to me, very very deliberate to me. I don't know. I don't have any reason to put on the paper now, but it is sounding deliberate. That's just a careless thing.
it's
An
very strange.
helicopter, just very strange, sir. Just a
Very
copter,
strange.
come on now.
It's
Settle it in
very
court. We must go to court now.
fact
They will
that
settle it.
when you insinuate murder, one cannot just dismiss it offhandedly.
No.
The combination of errors and faults are too glaring and too. It borders
Look at
on
all the souls that went.
negligence.
Come on.
Okay. So we'll wait. I will wait for more updates on it. I suspect there will be lawsuits against the company and individuals involved. Let's move on to the third story. I'm interested in why someone will say what this other man supposedly said. Yes.
Okay. Defense Minister denies terrorists have better weapons. Nigeria's Defense Minister, Mohammed Abubakar, has rejected claims by the House of Representatives that terrorists have superior weapons than the military. Speaking in Abuja, he insisted that the armed forces are better equipped with advanced arms and surveillance drones. He described the ongoing conflict as guerrilla warfare, where surprise attacks and informants make the fight complex, not a lack of weaponry. He also dismissed rumors of terrorists using armed drones, saying only improvised ones have been observed. The Senate has now scheduled a national security summit to address rising insecurity across the country.
Yes, I also heard the governor of one state, is it governor or someone from one state, or is it a senator, insisting that the weaponry of the bandits have higher, higher status than our military. What kind of sensors did you do? Is it like it has a weapon background, or it has a certificate in weaponry and has done comparative analysis to now equate? I don't like people belittling our national force to say we don't have equipment as they. What are they trying to say? The bandits are better equipped now, they are better trained.
If I may
I don't know.
comment,
Yes, come in, please.
maybe or maybe not. Well, one may not subscribe to the fact that they are better equipped than the Nigerian army, but two things are obvious here. Number one, these terrorists have grown sophisticated in their approach. We've had a few military helicopters literally blown and pulled down by the same terrorists.
Yeah.
This was not how they started. They have grown. And then when it comes to weaponry, we have seen there was a case earlier in the week where a British soldier or something spy was arrested in Nigeria. I don't know if you saw the story, that brought in a lot of arms. Now, there is an international dimension to this terrorism in Nigeria now, and that accounts for the sophistry of attacks and how those people are operating. Then the minister now who is speaking is arguing about the fact that he has superior weapon, but he's not telling us why these people are gaining ground and why the military is behind.
He
The
said
military
it's,
is
he
there
said
for intelligence.
the quality
And
of
right now, these people seem to be taking ground from the news available to us. So it's easy for anybody to conclude that the terrorists are more sophisticated and have better weaponry than the Nigerian army. If it's otherwise, then prove it, then stamp them out. It's very simple. There's no point arguing about it. They say something in Yoruba that you don't debate the fact that you can somersault in an open
Mm-hmm.
space. Just go ahead and somersault. Let's
And
see.
we know.
the man has given you some kind of reason. This is guerrilla warfare that is advantageous to the ragtag army because they also have a network of informants and all that. So it's sometimes that you have access to surface to air rocket launcher. Doesn't mean you have more weaponry than Nigeria, and they're able to inflict damage because they are guerrilla warfare tactics they are using. So I think we should encourage our force to do well, to do better, to do well. I mean, but not that these people are more superior, they are more this. No. I won't take that. I won't take that from anybody. Anyway, we'll take a short break and come back. And this is our Nigerian force. We are very proud of them, and we encourage them to keep on working. And then there are bandits coming southwest. Please work towards eliminating them. Don't give in to this cynicism that you don't have the weapons. You have, and you to also build your network of informants so that you can have counter-insurgency tactics and all that. Yeah, we'll be back.
Are we off?
Yes.
Okay, we can talk. I was watching Russia's War Day or something yesterday. Do you know anytime these guys have days that they celebrate their defenses, military defenses, they parade their weaponry. They parade those. I was watching with keen interest. And a friend of mine who is in the diplomacy told me that it's a way to show that, look, any invader, wherever you're coming from, see what we have. Oh. Don't take us for, that I am yet to see that happen in Nigeria. We do not know what we have. We do not know the capacity of what we own. The weaponry, we just we buy weapons, we buy weapons. The day they parade these things, those guys will know that, this is big war. Nobody parades anything. I'm beginning to think, do we have them first?
Even if we have all those things, and you'll be surprised at what is happening behind the scenes. Now, I can't say this. Okay.
Don't say on. Don't say it on.
We are going back, please. You're welcome back. We're on the last, what do you call it? Last lap of the show. This is the Vintage Talkshow, and we are on Niger Trends. We have, okay, please keep the call coming. Let's share your thoughts on what you think is going on in Nigeria based on the stories that we are revealing to you. Let's go to the NYC story.
Okay. FG sets to reform NYC, introduce teachers and medical corps. The federal government has announced plans to overhaul the NYC scheme, aiming to make it safer, relevant, and impactful. A special committee has been inaugurated to review operations and recommend updates. The youth minister says the scheme must evolve with national needs. Additionally, the education minister revealed plans for a dedicated teachers corps and medical corps to serve rural areas. These new units will support education and healthcare while offering clear employment pathways for youth.
I think it was Bosun that said about time. We've been talking about this overhaul for decades. Decades. It started in 1977. This is like almost 50 years. It's never too late. Never too late. I believe all of us went through this program.
Something should be done fast. Never too late.
I
Never too late.
didn't.
You did not.
No, I
I
did
did
not.
not. Well,
What,
by the
what
time I was, yeah, by the time I was leaving school with my second degree, I was overaged. Although people were going for it even with that. I opted for exemption because I knew that it would have been a waste, a very useless waste of my time.
Yeah, based on the stories you heard. Yeah, Abi?
No, I've been all over the country by the time I was graduating. Through student unionism, through
you are
the Kegels club.
overqualified.
So I had been all over. So there was nothing I wanted to experience again other than for me to work.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
At least you have a certificate of
Exemption.
exemption. So
No, I do.
well, we need the revamp in the NYC because, for instance, how do you? I don't know. Even the policymakers or the executors of this scheme, I don't know where they are from. You set up camp, Katsina Ala, on the way to this and that, and then there are things happening in Borno, in Zamfara, in Katsina itself, in all. You're going to pass through Kaduna, pass through this and that, and you want my child to go there? Are you okay?
Good for
No,
me.
it's beyond them. It's beyond them. It's not from above. It's beyond them.
Don't travel.
It's beyond them.
Don't travel at. Don't travel in a group. All these things will they stop that from being impacted by banditry? We need to think about these things. Review these things in such a way that people's lives are not
in one sentence.
Yes.
One sentence. Do you know why they have sustained this NYSC thing without thinking about the safety of the students?
Criticizes Pat Utomi's shadow government. The federal government has condemned economist Pat Utomi's launch of a shadow government, calling it unconstitutional and unsuitable for Nigeria's presidential system. They didn't mean to say democratic system. Utomi says the move is a response to rising poverty, insecurity, and economic misstep under the current administration. The shadow cabinet, made up of opposition voices, will offer alternative policies and hold weekly sessions to critique governance. Utomi insists a strong opposition is essential to protect democracy and push for reform in security, education, and the economy.
Wow.
This is what we need.
We're trying to get their voice back.
This is what we need.
I don't think
no. I want all of them to understand the definition of opposition government.
Before everybody else.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this shadow government thing, my first point on it is the way it's reported is like Nigeria's federal government says it's unsuitable for Nigeria's presidential system. They should be saying democratic system because it sounds as if everything is placed on the presidency, as if the most value here is placed on the presidency, not on the fact that it's a democratic system. Secondly, I'm sure that in a democratic system, this kind of shadow government is allowable. Me, I don't actually know. I'm sorry to say that as a lawyer. I don't actually know if this shadow government something is actually allowable. But I'm not sure of its effect.
Usually, it's a parliamentary practice, because in Britain, for instance, the conservative party has a shadow government now. The Labour is in power, and then when it's reversed, they're always very strong because they have a parliamentary system. They come to government, and if they have issue with the environment, the environmental minister will have a shadow environmental minister and be given a contrary point to accuse or advise.
Would that all be within the house?
They would be in the same parliament. Because usually parliamentary members are also ministers, cabinet ministers. So the government is in such a way that they challenge the incumbent about issues of policy and execution and all that.
Okay, you're back now.
We are trying to fill in the gap for you until your voice comes back.
We heard.
I knew there was something magical going on. I didn't understand it at all.
should panic over. That Patutomi has a coterie of people who want to have a contrary opinion and advise his government or challenge his government about this issue or that issue. Is it something to worry about?
It's
Uncle
something.
Fudge,
Okay.
okay. If I may, it's for me. Tamilore was talking about presidential and democratic. Yes, it is because it is not a parliamentary system, just like Uncle Fudge pointed out. So for me, it's a little bit of grandstanding on the part of those people that said they want to set up a shadow government, because in the parliament you debate robustly. But here, when you set up the shadow government, you might actually end up making people panic with your so-called policy analysis and stuff like that one, and it may lead to chaos, because it's you keep on giving contrary opinion to what in the parliament. Even if you give a contrary opinion, it starts there, it ends there. But here you could go social media and stuff like that one and stuff like that one. So for me, it's a little bit of grandstanding. And well, if the government is panicking, they know why they are panicking, because these people can actually use the social media to destabilize things, and we should not really encourage what.
Sorry, can I just chip in quickly? I think they should sit down and think. Sit down. Can you hear me? Can you receive me?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, go ahead.
I think they should sit down and think about what opposition really is, what it does and what it means. Opposition has to be constructive. For me, I'm very disappointed to a level, at the level of the opposition movement that we have in this country. They are not actually hitting it. They're not hitting it. You don't have to be riotous or you must bring solutions to a table. And now you are not talking about having a movement that will come across whatever. Let me tell you this. The truth is this. When you talk about shadow, whatever you're talking about, not be people, not be politicians. Are they AI? Are we using AI for that? The same set of people. We have them running. This thing is ingrained. It's a DNA matter. People should sit down and think about it. When you are opposing government, stand firm and let it be constructive. For example, I'm not a politician, or you guys know, but there's something very interesting that has happened in the past few days. I'm yet to see somebody applaud it. At least say, okay, we are getting there. We have returned money. At the IMF, we are owing money. They said we have returned some cotton. I did a fact check. Okay? And I found it to be true to a level. That's part of what I think. It's not as if you placate government, they're done it. No, you have your, when you see them do something good, say it's good and move on. Whether you admit it's good, it doesn't cost you anything. It won't take votes off you in 2027 or something, if you are thinking about that. But opposition should be constructive. That's what I'm saying. There's nothing wrong about it. It's a fine way, it's healthy, it's hygienic, it will kill a lot of whatever, and also speak to be everything we've done on this table today. We have spoken as if we're in the opposition. We talked about insecurity, which was as if we're in the opposition, and we brought solutions to the table. Yes or no? Move away from there. Cultural problem we have in the north of women who have been giving out to men now fighting back. That's serious one. It's a government thing. When the opposition, we are not actually labeling ourselves as opposition. Anytime you talk about something you feel is not right in the polity, you are opposing it. That's what I feel. And when you oppose it, you bring a solution to the table. All of them.
Hello, Mr. T. We have a
C's
caller.
on a roll.
Hello, good morning. Who is calling? Hello, good morning. Who's calling? Morning.
I'm calling you from Ikeja.
Okay, thank you.
On the issue of the 18-year-old married woman,
Woman.
there was a similar story concerning another 18-year-old bride who was married to two husbands in the same family this week.
Yeah. I read that story. Yeah.
Can they hear?
Not quite. There's more food.
Getting to know, the first husband now took the second husband and the wife to the law court. They are in the court with that to speak right now. The new husband and the wife are in jail. They are in prison. Pending the time the case will be heard maybe in another 2 weeks' time. That is, right. They call it the child right now. Now, you want to worry yourself about the figure of the young one. Also in Anambra, you have another 18-year-old boy who is the woman.
Yes,
That's our next story.
Under 5 months in Anambra. Then what is occupying the minds of the young girl? Then Nigeria as a country, what are we doing in order to engage the young girl? What are the jobs they got and what they are doing? And what does the future hold for them all? That's one. Then on future of the friend, I disagree with you, sir. When it's about the sophisticated way, yeah, maybe we need to encourage our medical men, yes, we know that. But technically, sometimes you need to be very strong because if you don't tell it the way it is, all of us can be a victim of civil security. For instance, you can imagine how many thousands and thousands of people who are being killed by this. And unfortunately, if the regime has been done the right time, all of people would have been alive, they would have reduced the number of persons, they would have reduced the number of people living in the ICC. 19 trillion naira have been spent on fighting the insecurity in Nigeria between 2010 and now. Imagine what Nigeria could have done into education, if you put that into education, if you put that into healthcare and what they are doing. Yes, now look at what we have to do. India, Japan, not 14 hours after India shot Japan, Pakistan. Pakistan returned immediately. And Nigeria did that in case of any economic aggression with a project military. The answer is no. Don't let us deceive ourselves. These people will go into military, they will be kill military in their own day. But the military can go to Ottoman villages and kill people after they know that they have done something to their name. Nigeria is not going the right way. I will not say it with you. The country, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Do the right thing. You have to organize and think about discipline in the military. The nature of Nigeria is people in the military we used to have in the olden days. We used to tell ourselves the truth. Now look how we said it today. The GSP said the people who are killing
they are foreigners. Yeah.
Foreigners coming to kill your people. What is your future as a military? Not to protect the country. And you have people in Nigeria, you can go to the north to southeast, from 1 kilometer, you can see about 5 people. And these other people will come and you cannot even kill them. So,
Thank you. Case well rested. That's Lokme from Kenya. Wonderful contribution. I'm sure from Miss Tari. We have gotten 3 of our stories already. He has captured 3 of our stories that we are yet to talk about. But let's go on. And his points are well articulated and they're legitimate. He had raised good points, which is one of the stories. And let's go to first
Mr.
of all,
T was still on. Mr. T was still speaking.
yeah, let's go to this 18-year-old impregnated so that you can move on.
Okay.
We have less than 10 minutes to go.
I don't know if I'm audible. I sound.
Go ahead.
Okay. 18-year-old impregnates 10 girls in 5 months. Commissioner cries out. An 18-year-old apprentice in Anambra has reportedly impregnated 10 girls in 5 months, including his master's daughter and the sales girl, leading to his expulsion. State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Ifi Ogundadegbe, says the situation worsened after he returned to his village, impregnating 8 more girls. The boy claims he promised love and marriage to lure them. The commissioner is now seeking public input, calling the case spiritual and beyond her capacity. A truly shocking youth sex scandal that's stirring serious concern.
Boy has Solomonic DNA.
Solomonically.
If at 18,
Did you
going this far,
the picture? You saw the photograph.
I
The visual. You didn't see the visual. They showed the guy stood in front and they all surrounded him. All of them, all the ladies surrounded him.
It's AI generated. That's
Oh,
AI
that
generated.
How is that generated?
the boy, if at 18 he has gone this far, where will he be at 50?
Like our caller, like our last caller said, it's a despicable picture of the reality of our life as a Nigerian society.
It is.
What preoccupies the mind of the young one at 18? The guy has become prolific, and he's an apprentice. The future is.
He studied. He should be studied.
He should be studied.
No, I don't know. Within
They should study him.
5 months.
My own problem is, I'm sure there's other things, but my own problem is
What was he
there's a lack of
telling
sex.
them?
There's a lack of sex education. How are all of them pregnant?
No protection, no anything, and they're probably his age or his age mate or younger than him. And
But the only thing he has done right is now his Oga's in-law. So they can't chase him away like that.
They can't chase him. They have to treat him with care.
And he elevated himself to the status of an in-law.
This boy cannot take. He's an apprentice, so he cannot take care of anybody.
No, the point is there are 10 women pregnant about the same period,
But why even
probably
the same age?
delivering their kids around the same time. How is he going to ever cope with life
Ever. He has
as
put
the
his life
father
into the
of
future.
5? Oh God!
Oh.
One or two may even have twins or triplets. No.
So he has not become a fiancé.
Forget about him taking care. Forget about him taking care of people. He's strategic. Okay, for example, the daughter of his Oga definitely can take care of that one from their home. You don't know how many people that can take care of themselves amongst the 10. So my own take is that, see, for those who have fertility issues, this is a case study. If we can actually, you can approach him.
Bosun, please, let's go.
He's a super stallion.
Let's go. Please. Oh my. Okay, next we're running out of time.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Wow. Foreign herders blamed for killings. Defense headquarters. The Nigerian Defense Headquarters says most recent killings in Plateau, Benue, and surrounding areas are being carried out by foreign herders entering through porous borders. Spokesman Major General Marcus Pangie says linguistic, physical, and behavioral cues prove many attackers aren't Nigerians. He added that Nigeria must unite to secure its borders and defeat the common enemy. Both Benue and Plateau governors have similar claims, blaming non-Nigerians for the violence.
It's a dangerous thing. We
Very
have porous
dangerous.
borders.
Uncle Faji, is it today? Uncle
We've
Faji,
never had borders.
Is it
You've never had
today?
borders, bro.
The Fulanis don't believe in your borders. That's the truth.
Yeah,
We've never had borders.
They don't believe in your borders.
And
And it's not today. The Fulani man in the north has more loyalty to the Fulani.
Well, government, what are we doing? Anybody in government listening? What are we doing? We can't have a nation. We don't have borders. We don't demarcation, nothing. Everything is just sparse land spread across like that.
Complaining. So there's
Go on Google. Go on the Google and see. Check it out on the Google. And we're so exposed. And nobody's seeing this.
Because if the headers can control it, so also invaders
Yes, now.
can run.
Mr. T, you know the unfortunate thing? If I carry even an ordinary pistol and they see me on the street, I will be arrested, prosecuted.
In their land.
But a Fulani man carries a full AK-47 across the whole of Nigeria. Nothing happens. It's their right. And when you want to make a law against it, it becomes wahala.
Quite a bit.
There is a law against it, and it becomes wahala.
Anyway,
So it's not
gentlemen, we'll revisit some of these issues. One of them is this about the JAM results, the humongous number who failed or who scored less than 200 out of 1.9 million. The brickbats between the AGF and Simon Ekpa about whether there's extradition or there's prosecution and all that. We cannot do any of these things because we have just 2 minutes to get out of this place. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us, and thank you for the callers today from Ekpe and Ikorodu, and then from Ikeja Titilopo. Thank you so much for joining us. We know some are trying to call. The lines seem to be working well, and we hope next week it will be better. I want to thank Akindamola Adeboye. Thank you for joining us. Bosun Osifowora, thank you so much for being there. Sorry about your losses. I want to thank Oluwa Tamilore. Thank you so much. And Ogundadegbe, thank you so much for joining us. And of course, Mr. T, use your word to wrap up the whole thing, and let's close the day. Thank you.
Well, it's been nice. Thanks for being there. Next week we'll be here doing the same thing differently, different news. See ya. Bye.
I'm from here. Bye-bye.
Bye, Mr. T.
Video.